CBW Productions presents Green Arrow, Year 1. Produced by CBW. Written by Wyatt Bowden.
All right, kid. End of the line. Just give me back the wallet.
What for? It's not like you need the money.
That's not why I chased after you.
Then why did you chase him? Does it make you feel good to pick on kids?
No,
Is it a possessive thing? He can't have what's yours?
If I could just...
It's not like you've earned any of what's in that wallet. Meanwhile, kids like this go hungry every night. So what gives you the right to...
If you had let me get a word in, I would tell you! Thank you. Look, I could honestly care less if he keeps the money, but that wallet has a picture that means a lot to me inside it. I just wanted the picture back.
No way. What do I care about some picture? I got this fair and square.
Do you want me to raise my voice?
No, ma'am.
All right. Now scram. Here you go. Sorry, I got on my high horse like that.
No apology necessary. I get it.
Do you? Because you would be the first.
I understand a lot of things have gotten difficult lately, especially in the Glades.
That's one way of putting it. More people going hungry and homeless every night. Lately, we've had a lot of trouble with the smaller gangs peddling their drugs and trying to get more kids addicted to whatever hot new shit they're passing off as the next best thing. There's even been college kids coming down here to pay the homeless to beat them up and videotape it.
Why?
Because Daddy didn't love them enough? How the hell should I know? Either way, life is difficult enough down here without people from your neighborhood making it worse.
I know. I've been reading about it.
There's a huge difference between reading it and living it.
I'm sorry. That sounded very entitled of me to say. I think we're getting off on the wrong foot. Again. I'm Oliver Queen.
And I am more than aware of who you are.
Alrighty then.
Look, I'm sorry I'm being kind of a hard ass. I tend not to be all that trusting with those born with a silver spoon.
Completely understandable. Most of us are dicks.
But I'll give you a pass on not knowing what's been going on lately, because you were gone for a while.
Does that mean you're cutting me a little slack?
Maybe. Didn't I hear something recently about your company doing community outreach and donations to charities in the Glades?
You heard right. One of the first things I saw when I came back was how rampant the crime and poverty has gotten in the last 5 years. I felt my family's company should give back. It's not much, I know, but I'm hoping it'll be a start.
Maybe for now, but I've heard that kind of sell before.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means that, sure, you feel bad right now because you're looking at this place with fresh eyes. But after a while, you'll forget about us too. Just like everyone else has.
What do you mean?
It would be better if I showed you. This is a place that was supposed to house the homeless. Now it's become a relief center for pretty much everyone in the Glades. Homeless or not.
What happened to them?
You mean besides life kicking them down at every turn? There's a new drug flooding the streets, and it's been tearing everyone apart. It's called Viper.
I've heard. What does it do?
Anyone who's seen someone on it will tell you. It stimulates all the wrong parts of your brain and makes you crazy and hyper. A lot of those who use will tell you it's great because it makes them feel like someone else entirely. But once you come down off of it, doctors are saying it's slowly shutting their systems and organs down. Most die within weeks after using consistently.
And the cops aren't doing anything to stop it?
Oh, I'm sure they're looking into it. Face it, Queen. People don't care about anyone dying in the Glades.
What about the people who made this center?
Who do you think is paying the cops to stay away?
What?
This place was set up by the Longbow Consortium. Those jackals that run the company use this place as their hunting ground to find fresh meat for their under-the-table work sites.
Those jackals. Do you mean Jeffrey Lemire and Michael Grell? They funded this place?
Sure did, and they do everything they can to exploit all the addicts chomping at the bit to get their hands on more Viper. Why? You know them?
Only by reputation. What can I do to help?
You want to throw more money at this. No offense, Queen, but that idea just won't cut it. Not on its own.
It'll get better equipment out here to help these people, and we can start working towards better housing.
Housing? How the hell are you gonna...
You let me worry about that. In the meantime, what can I do to help right now?
Well, I could use some help distributing food.
You got it.
Thea, no one is saying this isn't a good idea or even a decent piece to heighten our image with the public, but think about the long term. The more we donate, the more it's going to cost us more money we need for other resources, tax write-off or not.
I'm sorry you don't see the value of investing in the well-being of our city, Walter. But these outreach endeavors will do a lot more for us in the long haul than you think. You just aren't seeing the bigger picture.
I'm not seeing the big picture. Do I need to show you the numbers again?
I swear, if you shove that file into my face one more time, This conversation is going nowhere, Walter. I appreciate your concern, but we'll keep this handled.
How on earth do you think we'll keep this handled?
Perhaps by not freaking out every time a number jumps on your little report?
Now, Thea, I really don't think you're being considerate of your position. This is your family's...
You're right. It's my family's company, with my surname on the building. Which means I will do whatever I think is best. Do we understand each other, Walter?
Perfectly.
That seemed, spirited.
It's always something with Walter.
From everything your father told me, he's just passionate about this place, given how long he's been around. That's an admirable quality.
It would be if he put his passion into being helpful instead of undermining every decision I make.
Something wrong?
It's Oliver. He ditched his security detail.
Again?
Again. I swear, one minute he acts like a completely new person, the next, well, it feels like the same old flaky behavior he used to pull when we were younger.
It's no secret I don't really care for your brother, but even I can appreciate the change we've seen within him since his return, his recent behaviors notwithstanding, of course.
I just wish I knew why he felt the need to keep doing this.
You know, he did come by to see me earlier today. Perhaps it's my fault. Maybe I said something to him that might have set him off.
He came by to see you? What did you talk about?
We reminisced. Perhaps it didn't go well for him on the inside. After all, he does have a lot to feel guilty for.
What did you say to him?
I won't bore you with extensive details. He provided an extensive apology. I declined to accept it. Simple as that.
Ugh, dear God, Malcolm, really? It's never that simple with you.
Perhaps not, but such is my right as the father of the son he cost me. He could just be lashing out due to my rejection. You know as well as anyone, traumatic experiences do have a tendency to change how people behave and...
Malcolm, I know I brought it up, but could we please stop talking about Oliver? I've got enough things I'm worrying about right now with him already.
Happily. Shall we sit?
Do we always need to do these in person?
Email correspondence is so impersonal. We're partners in this endeavor, and as such, we should commiserate. So, what is the latest report?
The latest report shows the numbers of those affected have increased more, since the suppliers started widening their distribution.
Ah, just as I predicted.
Don't rub it in, Malcolm.
I already had my suspicions. Our handlers have already reported numbers doubling, with more subjects being obtained from both Pennytown and the Glades.
Then why ask?
We all serve our own functions in this process, Thea. I like to make sure you're still doing your part.
Are you starting to doubt me?
Your behavior has been troubling recently. I can't help but wonder if Oliver has something to do with it. Nevertheless, it's good the numbers have increased, because now I need for the suppliers to start adding this to the product.
What is it?
Do you really want to know?
No, not really.
Splendid. What about our other project? Are we on schedule for delivery?
Yes, we'll be receiving the next shipment next week.
This day has had so much more of an upswing since your brother came to see me. You know, your father wanted to leave the company to Oliver if anything were to happen to him. I managed to convince him it would be a better idea to put you both in charge. That way you could stop your brother from doing something stupid. Of course, I knew all that meant is that the right queen would be running the company. I don't know if I can honestly say Tommy would have been able to handle the responsibility you face. But now, thanks to your brother in this damned city, I'll never truly know for certain.
I miss Tommy too, Malcolm. Are you sure we're doing the right thing? This whole plan of yours could be catastrophic in result.
Oh, it absolutely will be. But I'm counting on that. After the conversation I had with your brother today, I am even more certain that this is the right thing to do. But remember, this isn't all just my plan. This wouldn't have been able to come to fruition without your invaluable contribution. We're going to change the city, Thea. This change needs to happen.
I know it does. I just...
Are you worried about that vigilante the news keeps reporting about?
You aren't?
Not even a little bit. Should he decide to interfere, I'm certain he can be dealt with.
I'm glad you are.
Is there anything else on the agenda?
No.
Well, then I should be off. I do have to find a new assistant after today.
What happened to Justine?
She had an unfortunate accident earlier this evening.
God. Yes.
Sleep tight.
You hear anything about visitors?
Man, I don't hear shit around here.
It's probably one of the boss's special clients.
Maybe. But wouldn't Tom downstairs have told us?
Ugh, probably too busy stuffing his face. Jesus! Ah!
Where do you think you're going, little man? That the best you got?
I tell you, Jeff, these girls will literally do anything for bump. You want seconds?
Nah, not tonight. I'm trying to make sure our numbers match, so that way nothing looks off enough that someone decides to audit us.
Well, look at you, Mr. Responsible. Do you at least want to hit her something to keep you focused?
I gotta cut down. The wife's getting suspicious.
She'll keep her nose out of it if she keeps wanting those trips to Bali. How's it going so far?
Would be going better if those idiots in the hall weren't making so much noise. It's making it difficult to concentrate when I keep hearing them banging around like bulls in a china shop.
Well, there's no need to blow a gasket. I'll just ask them to keep it down or we'll cut their pay.
Ah!
Jeffrey Lemire, Michael Grell, you have failed this city.
What the heck do you think you're... Ah!
What do you want?
Viper,
We don't know anything about... Ah!
don't you dare lie to me! You've been using it to entice addicts into your work camp. I want your supplier.
Please, we don't do this. Surely we can agree to... Ah! What are you, crazy?
You have 10 seconds. If one of you doesn't tell me how to find your supplier, the next one isn't going in the wall.
Come on, man!
10!
Please, we're begging you.
9!
We swear we don't know anything useful!
8!
Come on, I've got kids.
7!
And I've got a wife at home!
6!
You don't know these kinds of people. You don't know what they'll do to us.
5!
You think you're scary? Whoever they work for is worse!
4!
Don't do it.
3!
Wait!
2!
An alleyway between Berlanti and Jock. We genuinely don't know where they are at all times, but our people typically meet them in an alleyway between Berlanti Avenue and Jock Street.
In Pennytown?
Yes, sir.
You're going to set up a meet. For tonight.
Hold on now. It's not like they're at our beck and call.
Set up a meet for tonight. Now.
What the hell happened?
You were hit really hard.
Huh?
Are you alright?
My face hurts, but nothing's broken. You were that woman I found in the forest. Are you okay? You look pretty beaten up.
I'll leave.
Where are we?
This is an old Chinese prison. The Chinese government would send their worst and most notorious criminals to this island to serve a sentence in which they could not escape.
Huh?
Think of San Quentin and Guantanamo Bay rolled out into the middle of nowhere.
Lovely. So we're basically in a living hell on Earth.
Purgatory.
What?
This is an island in the North China Sea called Lian Yu. That's Mandarin for purgatory.
That's not at all disturbing. How do you know so much?
I work for Interpol. I was tracking a dangerous target to this location when I got captured. I've been stuck here for the past year.
Really? I've been here about 2 years. How have I not seen you or any of this until now?
I arrived from the northern side of the island. Where you find me is located more to the western side. Also, forgive me, but you don't look like much of an explorer.
I've done my best. I've survived this long.
How exactly did you come to be on this island?
My boat sank, and I washed up here.
Why does that sound familiar?
Who are these people you're tracking?
Are you sure you're all right? You seem anxious.
Am I? Sorry. It's just... You're the only real person I've seen in a while. I also wasn't expecting to wake up in an old, dirty prison cell on a deserted island.
Trust me, this island is far from deserted. These drug traffickers have been here for a lot longer than either of us.
Drug traffickers?
I was tracking the group's leader. She's a dangerous mercenary called China White. We got a word that a faction from the Hong Kong Triad were following her to help form her own operations. But we were having trouble locating her, along with her distributors. It seemed we would hit a dead end at every turn.
What changed?
I found out her real name. A passport belonging to a Chinese citizen named China Wei was flagged for having suspicious cargo aboard a large vessel.
Suspicious cargo?
There were also a lot of disappearances being reported around that time. We sent scouts out into the ocean that came back with reports of strange activity coming from the North China Sea. That's how I found Lian Yu.
Then how'd you get captured if you had the element of surprise?
There was an ambush. The issue with her passport was no accident. She baited us to follow her out here. My whole team was slaughtered. They kept me alive because they thought I might be useful later. But I think that may have run out when I tried to escape.
So we're just stuck in here?
For now. Calm yourself. I know it's not ideal. But if you give me some time, I can figure out an escape plan and we...
We? Lady, I don't even know you.
Nor I, you. But we should try to stick together if we are going to survive this. My name is Taiana Kniazev.
I'm Oliver. Oliver Queen.
That's why your story is so familiar. You're the infamous American billionaire who was lost at sea. Most people think you're dead.
Well, as you can see, I'm very much not.
Still, I almost did not recognize you in your current state.
Yeah, well, unfortunately I haven't been able to make it to the barber as of late.
My apologies.
So, what have they been doing here?
Farming their narcotics. They're using slave labor to produce it quicker.
They kidnap those people to force them to grow their drugs?
Unfortunately, this isn't uncommon even in your country.
What the hell do you want?
Your presence is being requested.
Does your master wish to gloat over capturing me?
Not you. Our leader requests the pleasure of your company, boy.
What should I do?
Just go with them. I don't think they're giving much of a choice otherwise.
If you like, we can always take you by force.
Okay. Let's go. The dealer was easy enough to get a hold of. Even easier to convince into coming out to a last-minute supply drop. I couldn't take any chances that Grell or Lemire might try to warn them I was coming, so I left Lemire tied up for the police back at their office, leaving Grell as sole volunteer to come with me as further assurance that this doesn't go sideways. His part in this is simple enough. He makes the buy and heads back to his office with the police waiting for him. Then I get to follow this dealer back to their base. I get what I want, and he doesn't get an arrow in his shoulder. It's a win-win.
Keep those hands where we can see them, Robin Hood. Now turn around, nice and slow.
Not a smart idea to sneak up on someone on this side of town.
Says the lunatic in the hood. Put the bow down. You're under arrest.
Captain, you don't understand.
Clearly, you don't understand simple directives. Put the bow down or we shoot. Next one goes into you. Last chance. Drop it. Now.
Damn it.
Smart choice. Cuff him. Hold your fire. The hell do you think you're doing?
Making sure I can get out of here in one piece.
There's no way out of this that ends well for you if you endanger my officers. Let him go now and we'll overlook this assault.
Pick it up. Roll to the right if you don't want to get caught in the crossfire.
What?
Cease fire. Cease fire. It's over. Come out with your hands up.
I believe you dropped these.
Who are you?
A friend. Now, let's take them out before they grab their guns.
No! We don't need to hurt them!
Clearly, they don't feel the same way.
We can incapacitate them without causing serious injury.
How do we do that?
Follow my lead.
Oops. Too slow. Nice try.
Damn vigilante piece of shit.
Let's get out of here.
No!
Ha! Gotcha! You son of a bitch! Not too strong without your bow, huh?
The hell? Stand down. He's on the ground. You don't need to keep beating on him.
This piece of trash needs to learn that vigilante justice isn't tolerated.
By beating him to death? Stop it now. I'm giving you an order.
You just don't know when to quit, do you?
No, stand down. Hey, that's enough. You've already assaulted enough officers. You want to add to murder?
Captain, I'm sorry. I didn't...
Please, don't kill me. Please.
I'm not going to. I mean, I wouldn't.
Here's that prisoner you requested, ma'am.
I see that. Hello, Mr. Queen. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I am Chen Naowei.
You're China White?
Don't you dare address our leader with that derogatory name she was branded with.
That's all right, Franklin. I understand I have a colorful nickname outside of China. I've honestly grown to like it over the years.
Yes, ma'am. My apologies.
You are forgiven. Now leave us. There. Now it's just the two of us. How cozy.
What do you want with me?
To talk, mostly. I honestly never imagined finding the famous billionaire castaway Oliver Queen so far from home.
How did you figure out who I was?
I almost didn't at first. But once I did, my mind's curiosity just could not be sated. After all, you've been legally dead for 2 years.
So I heard.
Did you hear that from your fellow cellmate, Miss Nyazev? Did she also tell you about me?
What are you going to do with her?
That isn't your concern. Touching though it may be, you should find yourself more concerned with what I'm going to do with you.
What? What do you want to do with me?
More on that in a moment. Right now, I'm interested in knowing how it is you managed to stay off my radar for almost 2 years. I should kill you. Or at the very least, enslave you with my other workers. But I find your presence here to be fascinating. Which brings me to the other matter of business I wanted to speak with you about. I understand you're pretty good with a bow. As it happens, I seem to have lost one of my men and am in need of a capable survivor to take their place. Would you be interested?
Hey! Hey! Stay with me! Wait a minute. Is this a wig? I know you. You're that girl I met in the Glades. Looks like I'm not the only one leading a double life. That got out of control way too quickly.
You think? You almost killed a man.
I wasn't trying to.
Perhaps not. But that is exactly the problem. You reacted without thinking. And we both know this isn't the first time.
What was I supposed to do? Let them kill me?
You do not know they would have killed you. You reacted...
I reacted because I was in fear for my life.
I taught you to be better than this.
You taught me to be a weapon.
A weapon is nothing more than an instrument. I taught you to be a warrior.
Fighting a war that you asked me to fight!
You can argue with me all you like, Mlachi brat. But the only reason I am here now to berate you is because you are just as ashamed of your actions as you know I would be.
I can't always be expected to know exactly what to do in every situation.
Then that means you have to become better.
I know, Taiana.
Do you? Do you understand exactly how this cannot happen again?
I know, Taiana! Hey, it's all right. It's okay. You're safe. It's me, Queen.
Queen, you're him. You're the vigilante?
Yeah. And apparently I'm not the only one.
You took off my identity concealment?
It's not much of a concealment.
Says the guy in a green hood using a gravelly voice.
Look, you were hurt, so I brought you to my base to patch you up. I wasn't going to leave you out there.
Okay. I get it. Thank you for getting me out of there.
One good turn deserves another, right? Kind of like you coming to my rescue. What were you doing there?
I monitor police vans. I overheard they were moving in on you and I didn't want you to die.
And the scream?
My canary cry?
If that's what you're calling it. How did that happen?
I was born with it, I think. I have never really known why or how, but it wasn't exactly fun the first time I discovered I had it.
I can imagine.
Alright, Queen, my turn. Who taught you how to fight like that?
I had a mentor on the island. Someone else who was stranded there.
And the Robin Hood act?
I'm not Robin Hood.
Could have fooled me. But don't avoid my question.
I made a promise.
Promise?
A promise that I would protect the innocent and the weak from those who would seek to use and harm them. This bow was a gift from my mentor, along with the hood. She said she wanted me to have the right tools for delivering justice.
No offense, but your teacher sounds really dramatic.
She could be at times. But I owed her my life. So when I returned home, I wanted to make sure I kept that promise.
So, you chose to keep your promise by running around the city shooting arrows at powerful businessmen?
Those businessmen are the larger part of the reason this city is dying. Because people are hurting, and they're using their wealth to make a profit off of them.
I'm not arguing with you, but if you want to make a change in the city, you can't just start at the top and hope that trickles down.
Why not?
Well, besides the fact that trickle-down economics never works, these men at the top are like hydras. You cut one head off, two more will just take their place and make things worse. You want to make a change, you gotta hit them where it hurts the most. Their wallets. Really make sure they know they have nothing left to hurt the people in this city with anymore. That's how you bring justice to the streets.
And you think that the Viper Trail is the key.
I do. But if that's the case, then I want in on this operation.
I appreciate your help tonight, but I don't need a partner.
What a coincidence. Neither do I. But we're both wanting the same thing. Besides, I've been working this Viper problem for the past year, so there's no way you're muscling me out. Grumble and growl all you like. But I think we both have skills the other could utilize.
Like what?
Stealth.
I'm plenty stealthy.
I've been protecting the people in the Glades for the last 3 years, and no one ever really talks about me. Know why? Because I can keep a low profile. Meanwhile, you've been back almost a month, and all anyone is talking about is the Hood.
I'm not really fond of that nickname.
Well, I didn't choose to be called the Black Canary, but here we are. Though I'm known more as an urban legend than a vigilante prowler.
And what do you think I have to offer this partnership?
Well, resources for one.
Obviously.
And I'm a good fighter. But you're a great fighter. You could probably show me a thing or two, as much as I hate to admit it.
I could.
Also, I imagine you're pretty good at interrogation and getting new leads since you found your way into that Viper deal tonight.
I can be resourceful.
Then, let's put our skills together for a better use. You have good instincts, and I know the streets. We should work together and stop whoever this is poisoning the streets. After that, if you still don't want a partner, then we go our separate ways.
I don't know. A lot of bad went down tonight after you got shot.
I know. I saw some of it before I passed out.
Then you know it's not like I can be in charge of watching my back and yours.
That's why we'll have to watch each other's backs. You saw those people in the shelter. Some of them were kids. You clearly don't want anyone else to suffer from this any more than I do.
Of course not.
And if you want to keep your promise to your teacher, this is my best suggestion at how you do that.
If we do this, we cannot have a repeat of what happened tonight. We have to be better than that.
Being better isn't going to stop the police or that bitch captain from interfering.
You let me worry about Captain McKenna. But I don't ever want something like that to happen again if we can avoid it. Sound fair?
Sounds fair. So, partners?
Does this mean I finally get to know your name?
Only if I get to know why that picture in your wallet was so important.
It's the last picture my family and I took together before my parents died.
Wow. Aren't you a big softie? I'm Dinah. Dinah Lance.
Nice to meet you, Dinah.
Nice to meet the real you.
Call me Oliver.
Green Arrow Year 1 stars Jake Johnston as Oliver Queen, Gina Stockwell as Dinah Lance, Summer Rose as Thea Queen, J.D. Shouse as Malcolm Merlyn and Michael Grell, Lauren Moore as Gina McKenna, Cliff Jones as Jeffrey Lemire, Kat Leroy as Taiana Knyazev, Noel Pennison as Chen Na Wei, Henry Schultz as Franklin, and Jason Fella as Walter Steele. Featuring additional voices by Wyatt West, Alex B., Henry Schultz, Noel Pennison, and Wyatt Bowden. Story written and directed by Wyatt Bowden. Music scored by Wolf Number 9. Audio engineered by Billy Mazzell. Series art by Evan Collin. Edited by Joseph E.W. Series produced by CBW Productions.